Hello, it's me again. You know, that little light flying around in the night trying to figure out how to make things right. Um, so I was laying down last night and I heard very clearly in my head the day the phoenix died. Because we all hear about the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? Like once you go through this great turmoil and everything burns up and you have a new rise, right? You come back up. But no one really considers what it took to get to the point where you've basically lost everything you knew, the end of your world. It gets difficult because most people don't talk about what they're going through. Most people won't tell you how they're losing everything or that life is difficult for them or they're depressed, just that they can't handle anything else. And I remember telling somebody the other day, I always heard God won't give me more than I can handle, and honestly, I don't feel that strong. And it gets to a point where I know to have a new beginning, you have to have an end. And the hardest part is the end. That's the part where the phoenix burns up. The phoenix dies. Because in order to rise from the ashes, you have to be able to let everything go. You have to be able to say, okay, that was the life I was living. It does not correlate with my existence any longer. And that's the hard part because change, most people don't like change. It's uncomfortable. We get used to, no matter if it's a toxic situation or something that makes us miserable and wants to drag us down, we get used to dealing with it. But the concept of having to overcome it, that's the fire in itself. That's the thing that things have to be allowed to be destroyed. Even if you look at the Great Wall of China, where people are harvesting the bricks, the stone from this wall that you can see from outer space. But it's the concept that it serves no purpose in their mind any longer. So they'd rather work on their houses, and they've had to actually block off areas of the Great Wall of China because people harvesting off of that. So when it comes down to it, if you think about what you have to give up, what you have to surrender to, what you have to just say, you know what, I'm not going to hold on to it anymore. It's suffocating me. And when you can let go of it, that's when the fire pretty much stops burning. That's when you get to a point to where you say, okay, it is what it is and it's going to be what it's going to be. And that sure can sound like, I don't care anymore. But when you honestly get to the point of I don't care anymore, that is the true moment of surrender. We've heard stories in the Bible. I don't remember who was in the fire. Was it Daniel in the lion's den? My mind's all jumbled with all kinds of examples. And it's funny when you can't get the example out. When you're trying to prove a point, make a point, help someone understand whatever it is, because I've got nothing to prove to you. I've got everything to prove to myself, that I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm empowered, I'm divinely guided and highly protected, that I'm on the right path, that I can continue to inspire and encourage other people through just simply being me and sharing my story. But that's the thing, whenever you're dealing with devils, that light tends to make them like and want to come at you. And I will be honest, on certain days, the pushback is so hard that it's like, I'm tired of helping people. I was in that mode a couple days ago. I'm tired of making not good people feel good. I'm tired of patting people on the back that wouldn't even wipe a tear away from me if I was stranded on the side of the road with nothing. And it's the world we live in, sadly, that so many people are burning up in the fire that they create for themselves. But they sit there and they cry wolf in a way. I need this, I want that, I can't have this, and now my life's falling apart. It's just all these little petty mind games. And the thought of the phoenix having to die to rise from the ashes came from something I'm dealing with. Somebody who's a big time mama's boy, and they don't see the manipulation that their mother presents to kind of keep them stuck. And I had to point out the fact that you look at all your other brothers, right? You look at the lives that they lead, the way that they get to move forward, and they're building a life for themselves. But they got off the hook of karma. They learned the lesson about mama keeps you around because mama, for one, doesn't have a relationship with anybody. Mama gossips all the time. Mama wants to spend your money. Mama wants you to be her man. And that situation helped me to realize that as much as my son, people say he's a mama's boy, I have empowered him enough to understand that his job is not to take care of me, it's to take care of himself. Whatever family that he presents and grows with, I would love to welcome them into my family without condition. And this is the moment where the phoenix has to burn. The phoenix has to understand that in order to move forward in life, no matter what karmic individual has their hooks in you, whether it be your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your aunts, your friends, lifelong friends, whoever it is that you think has your back, at some point you'll start realizing that they're not as down for you as you thought they were. That when you're in that crisis, when they can very easily pluck you out of the fire. But that's not their intentions. Their intentions are of being in your life, whether they know it or not, are to teach you to grow. That's the only way that the phoenix can grow, is to die. And I'm not saying this is theoretical. This is not the sense that you got to go kill yourself and, oh God, I'm not here anymore, and then you come back renewed. That's not it at all. But it is releasing ego and the concept that in order for one to survive, one has to die. You cannot have ego and spirit. Just as I was reminded, you cannot have stress and faith. So when you're dealing on two different spectrums and you find yourself in the middle being pulled two different ways, at some point you have to make a choice. Do I continue to function and navigate my life in the way that it has not been serving me? Or do I sit uncomfortably in the unknowing and let it just simmer around me, knowing that I've already allowed for the one thing that I have to allow, which is to release, to let go of the past. And yes, it's hard, especially when we are letting go of our parents or those people that we feel dedicated their lives to us. We feel we owe them something, but a good parent will always tell you, you owe me nothing. My goal in life was to take care of you, raise you and guide you in such a way that you can take care of yourself, love yourself, defend yourself, set boundaries, healthy boundaries, not allow others to take advantage of you. And it seems in the world that we've come from, even into the world that we've walked into, that a lot of parents aren't doing their duty as guardians. Instead, there's always that, oh, you owe me this or you owe me that. I did this for you. How could you do that to me? It's a bunch of bit bam boom that makes no sense. It's a guilt party, a guilt trip, to not even allow somebody to be able to even go to that moment of saying, you know what? It's time to let the ego die so my spirit can fly. Because whenever I allow myself to actually embrace the present moment and live my life in a happy moment and start building dreams and manifesting and moving forward, oddly, those are the times when a karmic individual will come and start fanning your flames to put it out, because they know that if the ego dies and the spirit rises, then they are no longer in your life in the way that they are used to. Being able to use you, being able to manipulate you, being able to talk about you behind your back and you'll be there at all cost. Being able to constantly stab you in the back and then comfort you to your face. Being able to affect individuals that you bring into your life that are there for a good purpose, that are there to help your spirit fly. But they know as karmic individuals that if you fly, you will fly away. And when you fly away and you do rise from those ashes, they're not necessarily going to be in the picture any longer, which means they will have to work harder, which means that their illusion has been destroyed. And I know I started out talking about the day the phoenix died, because I'm pretty sure that's what I was going through last night. All this time I'm sitting here thinking, I'm ready to rise from the ashes. I'm ready to have a new beginning. And I even told myself yesterday, my beginning has already begun. But at the same time, I've had to realize there's so much that is still holding back my life from certain individuals that I allow to continue to false talk. What do you call that? Feed you sugar. Sugarcoat it. I don't even know how to phrase what I'm trying to express right now. Like I said, words have been kind of blah, 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 lately, because the whole intention was, as the phoenix dies, the phoenix can only sit there and internalize. And as you're going through that death, as you're going through that egoic exit, or merging the two together to make it make sense for yourself, because you can't lose the side of you that feels powerful, but you can tame the side of you that allows you to stand up for yourself. And as long as you can humble that side of yourself, then you can allow spirit to continue to flow through you. It's just very difficult when you live in a world of naysayers. You know, yesterday I was listening to like motivational speeches. And my son came up to me and said, you know, you listen to the wrong things. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I heard you listening to a video earlier this morning, and it had to do with you are wealthy. And he said, you're not wealthy. Why would you lie to yourself? And I told him, I said, when you're not surrounded by business people, business owners, wealthy individuals, people of a higher mindset that are willing to chase a goal, all you can do is sit there and try to focus on where you're trying to be. So you have to surround yourself with messages that will help you kind of guide in that direction. And the whole time, And I said, so where I'm not surrounded by them, I bring them into my life through free networks such as YouTube, you know, or I can sit there and read a book, The Businessman or Businesswoman's Mindset. I can redirect my way of thinking to be able to manifest in the aspect of what I'm trying to achieve. That still goes back to the phoenix has to die. The truth has to come out within yourself and within the people that you affiliate with. And like I said, the hardest part is when you begin to realize that it's your family that is karmic and toxic. But when it comes to someone being karmic, it is the sense that they're here to teach you a lesson about yourself. And that's the hard part. When you're comfortable being in their existence and you're comfortable holding yourself back and being mediocre, being even less than average, you're okay with the struggling, you're okay with the suffering, you're okay with helping them, never realizing that the help that you provide for them is the help that you're neglecting to give yourself. And when you neglect to give yourself that, you are stuck in this position of constantly giving away everything that you could possibly gain for yourself. And from a loving standpoint, if the others could look at what they were doing, which they cannot because they are karmic, but if they could understand that they are holding you back. And if they loved you, they would let you go for the time that you needed to go. But instead, they sit around and they continue to teach you the lessons. And it's really hard when you have a teacher that has like love on conditions. I'll love you if you do this. I'll love you if you do that. Oh, how dare you do that? I did that for you. Those are conditions. Somebody that loves you unconditionally says, oh, I see that you're going through a hard time. I'm going to be here for you. All I can do is listen, not object. All I can do is offer support, not my opinion. All I can do is encourage you. And that comes from somebody that is offering unconditional love. But like I said, these are karmic individuals, and these karmic individuals are also the ones that will throw the fuel on you to set the flame. Never realizing that what they're doing is actually going to allow you to embrace yourself and set yourself free if you can understand what is going on in the fire. And a lot of times, the more you become awoken spiritually, the less people you will have in your life. The more you will learn to do what you need to do, which is to look up and pray. To make sure that who you're seeing in your life, what is surrounding you, is meant to be there and was placed there by a higher power. Because the thing about these karmic individuals is they're still in such a vibration that they're on the lower toxic scale. Now, when you're on a lower toxic scale, you have devils that can come to you and affect your mentality in such a way that it can make you second guess your own success. It can make you falter in a movement forward that could be life-changing. But like I said, the individuals that are coming not to even assist you, they're the ones putting the fuel on you to set the fire. And as they see you're on fire, they understand they have now regained the power. So what are they going to do? If they're fanning the flames, they're making the fire bigger. They're trying to consume you with doubt, self-sabotage, hate, setbacks that will make sure the ball stays in their court, that will make sure that they will always have what they've always had, which is you bending down and kissing their ass. Which is you giving them everything they could possibly dream of when they never even gave it to you. And that might sound petty, but when it comes down to parents dealing with adult children, at some point you have to ask yourself, are you in the right or are you in the wrong when you're asking your children to give to you what you're not willing to work for? Is it wrong to sit there and say, well, I gave my life up for you. I did this and that. I sacrificed. I worked all these jobs. So-and-so was never around. Your children still don't owe you a fucking thing. What you owe them is for you to get a life because you raised them. You put them out of the house at some point, or they chose to leave. But that's the cycle of life. We live, we learn, we grow, we move on. But a lot of people can't embrace the fact that it is okay to let go. It is okay to be consumed by the fire, because only the phoenix can rise from the ashes. But you have to ask yourself at some point, are people just setting you on fire to put you out, set you on fire, put you out, go back and forth, burn you alive? Because one minute, they got you flying high. Then they see you're about to get away and, oh, boom, no, can't do that. I didn't say I was setting you free. I mean, if I set you free, then what does that mean about me? I'm nothing, I'm nobody. Nobody comes to my aid anymore. Because one thing that an older generation tends to forget, everyone talks about being thrown in nursing homes and nobody caring about their family anymore, taking care of this or that. There's a lot of drama and gossip that comes with an older generation. There's a lot of, I don't want to do for me anymore. I did for everyone else. There's false illusions, memories that aren't correct, forgetful moments of things that were said and done. We have to remember, memories are a thing. The feeling was present. The action did occur. Whether it was meant or not is not in question. But the fact of the matter is, the past is the past. It's already been lived. There's no way to fix it or try to correct what went wrong back then through what you're doing now. Because the best thing you can do is, if you ever had to neglect, overworked, mistreated your children, whatever it is, the best thing you can do is encourage them to do better than you. Not put your 2 cents in, not tell them how to live their life. Because the thing is, older people get forgetful. The stories change in their mind. Middle-aged people are so busy working, trying to provide for the older people as well as the younger people. And the younger people have no clue what they're about to walk into. And sure, there should be a matter of unity, but that comes on the matter of unconditional love. Not what did I do for you to feel like I deserve what I can get from you. So if at any moment you're going through, I want to say, a transformative time where family is falling off, maybe family is coming back in the picture. Either way it goes, you have to remember boundaries are very, very necessary. Boundaries are meant to protect you. Boundaries are meant to help you keep your own power. Boundaries are meant to help you learn to fly. So when you do finally rise from the ashes being the heartbreak of your past, that you will move forward into life in a more fruitful manner, and you will stop loving on conditions. That love will come back. Because it hurts really bad to see individuals that are still hanging on to their parents and the fact that they feel like they owe them something. You don't owe anybody anything. The only person you owe something to, yourself. And praise to the one above. Or all around you, because spirit is all around you. Just don't forget, there was a moment in which the phoenix had to die to be able to rise. So, a lot of, I don't know. Hopefully that helps somebody. Because like I said, I was laying down, hearing tell the story about the day the phoenix died. Maybe it's time to let the phoenix die so the spirit can rise. Peace out.